Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our Tennessee Christmas virtual introduction meeting. I'm going to keep calling it the Tennessee Christmas. I apologize. We actually have a different name for it, but that's what's kind of stuck in my head. So the actual name is Memphis Favorites and a Country Christmas at the Opryland Resort. So thank you for joining us for our virtual introduction meeting. I just need to let everybody know that the broadcast is being recorded and will be posted online at a later date. Just want to do a quick shout out. We have Sherry Gabora with us today from Mayflower Cruises and Tours, and I want to do a shout out to her and her team. Those of you that know about this trip, we had this planned in 2020, and of course we could not do it because of COVID. And it has been in the works off and on ever since. We've kind of struggled to get this trip underway. And it was about a month and a half ago, I think, I finally switched gears and gave our friend Sherry a call and asked her if she and her team could put together an itinerary for us with all the information that I had that I wanted included. And they did an amazing job. They pulled this off in about three and a half weeks. I don't know, Sherry, something like that. So this just goes to show why we are, so thankful for Mayflower and Sherry and why we use them as one of our premier travel partners, because they always come through for us and always do these little extras. So thank you, Sherry. You should have a control panel. You should be able to see a control panel somewhere on your screen. And in the control panel, there are two handouts. One is the brochure and one is the registration form. So the registration form is editable. You can go ahead and open that, complete it, save it, and send it back to me via email. But I am going to go ahead and turn this over to Sherry. She's going to tell us all about this great trip and everything we can expect.
Great. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am going to get my screen rolling here with our presentation, and I'm going to turn off my camera. I wish I could see all of you, but I'm going to turn off my camera so that you can see the pictures better than looking at me. So welcome. Thank you and Happy New Year to everybody. The VISTA Club has a great fully customized trip, as Beth was telling you, an exclusive trip that's planned for you to head down south to Memphis and Nashville, Tennessee. And Mayflower Cruises and Tours, we are excited to partner with them on this holiday musical adventure to Tennessee. So I'm going to walk you through the trip a little bit more in depth here in just a few minutes. But first, I want to talk about what goes into making this trip and every trip a memorable experience with the VISTA Club and Mayflower, because VISTA Club has thought of everything for you. So your adventure begins, of course, with your local pickup and deluxe motor coach transportation. You'll be joined by a professional Mayflower tour manager. Now, each of our tour managers, they are selected for their knowledge and experience in the area. We also believe in including local guides and historians that will really bring the destination to life for you with their extensive regional knowledge. Your travel experience includes top accommodations, as well as so many meals have included. But, we've also have all the touring that's been planned out for you and included throughout the trip. And then last but certainly not least, you are going to be joined by one of the great VISTA Club leaders who will be with you for the entire trip. So on to the featured presentation, exclusively designed for the VISTA Club, Memphis Favorites and a Country Christmas at the Opryland Resort, departing November 28th. Returning December 3rd. It's 6 days in total with 11 meals included.
Hey, Sherry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We aren't seeing the PowerPoint.
You're not seeing the at all?
No, we're seeing you. I can hear you, but I'm not seeing there we go. There we're
Are you seeing it now?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, this is the first real picture of anything beautiful to show anyways. So you didn't miss much. So we're going to travel south by motor coach to Memphis, Tennessee. It's home of the blues. Here Here is going to be your home. Make yourself at home for the next 2 nights as you check into the guest house at Graceland. This is a unique way to experience the legendary landmark in a premier location. It's a great location to be able to explore the city. It is just located steps away from the Graceland Mansion. This is your new extraordinary home away from home in the South. You've got gracious staff here that's going to be providing unmatched service, bringing you that Southern hospitality for which the King was known for. You'll enjoy the rock and roll treatment here from the moment you enter the lobby until you've left the building. So stop by the Shake, Rattle, and Go for an early morning or late night treat here at the hotel. They sell many baked goods, including the hotel's signature sticky buns. So make sure you experience those. Great place for the Vista Club friends to sit and relax. This is the lobby lounge where you can sip on some of the local craft beers, wines, maybe some specialty cocktails, and of course, a classic Tennessee whiskey and rye. We've got beautiful, comfortable accommodations here. This is a great place to rest your head after a day of traveling, but no going to bed just yet, because we are going to enjoy a welcome dinner with your Vista Club friends and your tour manager at the historic Memphis restaurant, Marlowe's. So for your first day in Memphis, we're going to start with a visit to Graceland. So you can tour the mansion, the meditation garden where Elvis is laid to rest, see some of the rooms in the mansion, like the living room. You've got a dining room. And just immerse yourself in Elvis's incredible career here. See his amazing collection of gold and platinum records, movie memorabilia, and more. Plus, here you've got this newly opened Elvis Dress to Rock exhibit, which features more than 100 pieces of Elvis's stage wear, including jumpsuits, jewelry, capes, and more. You can step aboard Elvis's customized airplanes, see how he traveled in luxury. This is the Lisa Marie, which includes a living room, conference room, private bedroom, and features gold-plated seat belts, leather-covered tables, and a 24-karat gold flecked sinks here in the Lisa Marie. You'll be able to walk along some of Elvis's favorite automobiles here, including his iconic pink Cadillac, his 1956 Cadillac Eldorado, the Ferrari, Mercedes-Benz limousine, Rolls-Royce sedans, and so much more here at Graceland. So your local guide is going to join you for a narrated tour of Memphis, including the historic Beale Street as pictured here. We'll visit the famous Sun Studio, known worldwide as the birthplace of rock and roll. It is the discovery location of many musical legends and genres of the 50s, from B.B. King to Elvis Presley to Johnny Cash and to Jerry Lee Lewis. So you've got blues and gospel, country and rock and roll that all came to life here. You can stand in the very spot that Elvis first recorded, see some of the priceless memorabilia here from musical legends that blended those blues and country music to explode into the big bang of rock and roll. When you're there, you'll be able to hear voices of musicians that still haunt this studio as you listen to the outtakes of recording sessions and feel the energy of the music that was created here. Later that evening, we've got another great dinner planned for you. This time we're going to King's Palace Cafe, located right on Beale Street. This restaurant has the old-time Beale Street atmosphere inside it. After 2 nights here, we're going to leave Memphis and we're going to go to Bon Aqua, Tennessee, and enjoy the peace and tranquility of this 107-acre property that Johnny Cash owned for 33 years. He called this the center of his universe, featuring that 200-year-old farmhouse there with an intimate collection of family photos, memorabilia, and some video footage of Johnny Cash at the property. Even though Johnny Cash really began writing songs at the age 12, It wasn't until he moved to Memphis that showed up unannounced at that Sun studio that you would have seen earlier. That is where his music took off. Today, we know him as the Man in Black. And his pathway, this location here, is an opportunity to stand where he stood and imagine the life experiences that inspired this music icon. Now, when Johnny Cash, they say when he needed a place to escape from life in the public eye, this hideaway farm was one of the places that he would go to. Now, the Storyteller's Hideaway Farm and Museum in Bon Aqua, Tennessee is a must-stop for everyone who is interested in knowing more about the man behind the country music icon, as well as the region's rich history here. Later in the day, we're going to arrive at our home for the next 3 nights. This is the Opryland Resort. You're going to be welcomed with holiday lights, some amazing decorations that will just get you in the mood for the holidays here. Take time to enjoy and explore the resort. You'll have some free time here at the Opryland. Now it's day 4. Day 4, we're in Nashville, and we're going to head out to get a real feel of Nashville. We're going to go to the RCA Studio B that was built in 1957. It became known as the birthplace of the Nashville sound, a style characterized by background vocals and strings that helped establish Nashville as really just the international recording center located on Nashville's Music Row. We'll be able to chance to stroll through the studio, learn more about the history, see some of the great exhibits here in the studio. Our day here is also going to include a visit to the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. See the journey through country music as you see a collection of artifacts, photographs, recorded sound, and video here. Later, we're going to be joined by a local guide, and we're going to have a narrated tour of including Music Row and the honky tonks. Here's a nice shot of some of the new bars in town, owned by singers like Jason Aldean and Luke Bryan. On our tour, we'll see the Ryman Auditorium and a full-scale replica of the Parthenon right here in Nashville. Who would have known? In the evening, we're back to the Opryland Resort, your home here. We're going to enjoy dinner and a Christmas show right here at the Opryland Resort. Now in 2022, the show was hosted by the Oak Ridge Boys. Unfortunately, it hasn't been announced yet who will be leading the entertaining show in 2023, but either way, I'm sure you will enjoy a fun-filled evening. For our last day in Nashville, there is a lot planned for you today. We're going to experience Opryland's annual ice show. You'll walk around and enjoy the colorful hand-carved ice sculptures. The theme changes every year here at the Opryland. Back at the hotel in the Delta Atrium, well, you're going to have the opportunity to be able to travel a scenic river just winding through the Gaylord Opryland Resort's beautiful 4.5-acre Delta Atrium here. So you can marvel at the natural beauty, you'll learn about the plants and the fish there, receive any answers to those questions that you might have regarding this wonderful resort. Got Stack Burgers right there in the background too, a great place to grab a quick meal. We're going to stick with the water adventures here because you're going to board the General Jackson Showboat for a luncheon and holiday show. To top off this musical holiday trip, after an included farewell dinner here, you'll have reserved seats at the Grand Ole Opry. Yes, that's me and my daughter there at the Grand Ole Opry before we went in to experience a wonderful show there. See country legends here at the Grand Ole Opry. You've got country legends, rising stars, and really the who's of who knows who of country music has taken this iconic stage for a 2-hour show that you'll experience here. You never know who's going to show up and perform that night. We'll head back to the Chicagoland area here from our wonderful motor coach adventure. Just to, talk about our Great recap of the trip's inclusions here on the trip. You've got your local pickup, so you know your trip will begin right there in your local hometown. Motor coach transportation. We talked about 11 meals. I featured many meals, but you'll have breakfast every morning with 5 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and 4 dinners. You got your Mayflower tour manager and, of course, the great Vista Club representative. In Memphis, you're going to spend 2 nights at the guest house at Graceland. You'll tour Graceland, the new visitors entertainment complex, a narrated tour of Memphis. We'll visit Sun Studio. On our way to Nashville, actually in Tennessee, you'll tour Johnny Cash's Storyteller Hideaway Farm. And then in Nashville, you'll spend 3 nights at the Opryland Resort, all decked out for the holidays. We'll tour the historic RCA Studio B. Visit the Country Music Hall of Fame, the narrated sightseeing tour of Nashville, Opryland's Christmas dinner show, that Delta boat ride through the Opryland Resort. We are not touring Blythewood Garden, so let's just ignore that. Opryland's ice show, General Jackson's showboat, lunch and live entertainment, and reserved seats at the Grand Ole Opry. So our departure date is November 28th. There is the per person rate, $24.99 per person for 2 people sharing a room, and there's a single supplement. And yes, I know that the single supplement is quite high on this trip, but we are staying at some really costly hotels on this trip. And so when they're a little bit more pricey and you have to pay for the full cost of that room, it does increase that single rate. But don't forget, we've got our guaranteed share program. So if you'd like us to match you up with another Vista Club member, we can certainly do that for you so that you can share the room and save a little bit of money with that twin rate. To protect your investment, we always offer our optional cancellation fee waiver. For $80 per person, you can pay for this cancellation fee waiver. And if you needed to cancel for any reason up to the day before departure, you would receive all of your money back less than $80. So it's a small price to pay for that cancellation protection. And for those of you who have traveled with Mayflower Cruises and Tours in the last year, maybe you went to Alaska with us last year. Well, you can deduct any valid Mayflower money that you might have. You can deduct that on this trip. So the Mayflower money will actually be going away, and we're going to be introducing a new Mayflower Loyalty Rewards program this year in 2023. So when you take your first trip with us this year, maybe you're going to be going to Alaska. I'm sorry, you all went to Canadian Rockies last year, but if you're going to be going to Alaska with the Vista Club in July or August of this year, you're going to get our new loyalty rewards. So you're going to be getting $100 in loyalty rewards that you can apply towards your final payment of this Tennessee holiday. Of course, if you've got that Mayflower money that's still valid, we will accept that Mayflower money as well. Then after you take this Memphis and Nashville trip at the end of this year, you're going to earn $50 in Mayflower loyalty rewards that can be used on your next trip in 2024. So similar to Mayflower money, but it's at a greater value. So if you have any questions, just we'll clarify it. We'll make sure that you get all of the savings that you might have with your Mayflower money or this new loyalty rewards moving forward. But we want to make sure that you get those savings. A $200 per person deposit and reservation form will reserve your seat on this amazing trip with the Vista Club. And of course, if you want to purchase that cancellation fee waiver, then make sure you include that $80 per person with your deposit. So a total of $280 per person deposit. Speaking of reservations, this would probably be a great time for me to again say thank you for allowing me to present this exclusive trip to you, and turn it back over to Beth, the Vista Club manager, who will talk more about making reservations on this trip. Beth?
Okay, well, thank you, Sherry. That looks awesome. Thank you so much again for putting all of this together in relatively short notice. We really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome.
Our pleasure.
So, yeah, we are going to be opening this up for reservation today. Just to be completely transparent, this trip was originally planned November 16th to the 21st back in 2020. We had 23 people who were originally signed up for that trip, and we did offer this to them prior to today for pre-registration. So we do have 13 spots sold as of now. But as soon as we conclude this, we will open it up for reservation for everyone else, and it'll just be first come, first serve. So as of today, we have reservations being taken in Bloomington. Beth Hamill can help you down there. Her number is 309-663-6300. Not that that's confusing at all. We have Beth Hamill, Beth Hubbard, but as long as you remember Beth H, you got one or the other of us. So we have Mark Sheffer in Streeter today. He'll be taking reservations until 1 o'clock, and his number is 815-673-4381. And then, of course, I will be out here at Plaza all day. My number is 815-539-1526, and I'm located here in Mendota. If you could download the registration form, complete it, and send it back, along with some form of payment, whether we debit an account or put a credit card on there, that would be helpful. But I do want to open this up for questions. Does anybody have any questions? You can raise your hand and I can unmute you while we have Sherry here. She can answer any questions for you.